If you've ever had sushi, you know the drill. You make soy sauce, grab a roll, and add a dollop of that familiar bright green paste for a sharp, sinus-clearing kick. But there's a very good chance that almost every bite of wasabi you've ever eaten contains absolutely zero actual wasabi plant. This diagram breaks down what you are actually eating. Most commercial wasabi paste is an imitation built on ordinary horseradish, blended with mustard to replicate that pungency. To complete the illusion, manufacturers simply mix in green food coloring. Which raises an obvious question. If the entire world relies on this cheap synthetic substitute, what exactly is the real plant, and why is it so incredibly rare? Real wasabi is often called green gold by the farmers who grow it. It is one of the most expensive and difficult agricultural products to keep alive on Earth. This widespread use of substitutes is a direct response to the plant's extreme sensitivity. At a global scale, the logistical demands of real wasabi often make a synthetic alternative the only practical way to serve the market. To find the real thing, you have to leave the restaurants and travel into the pristine, high-altitude mountains of Japan. Here, the air is exceptionally pure, and the climate remains highly stable year-round. You won't see vast, flat fields of soil or heavy tractors here. If you try to plant wasabi in a standard commercial farm setup, it will simply wither and die. Instead, cultivation happens in wasabi beds. These are highly specialized terraced stone fields built painstakingly by hand, right alongside natural mountain springs. This setup caters to the plant's first major constraint. Wasabi roots will rot if left in stagnant water. They require a continuous, endless flow of crystal-clear spring water washing over them at all times. This gauge shows the plant's second, stricter constraint. The water temperature must remain locked within a razor-thin window of 8 to 18 degrees Celsius. If weather changes and water temperature slips just a few degrees outside the safe zone, is enough to trigger disease and wipe out an entire crop. Success depends on a constant act of ecological maintenance. This fragile Goldilocks zone is the primary reason expanding wasabi cultivation to other parts of the world remains a massive challenge. Even when you secure the perfect environment, the waiting game begins. Everyday vegetables might mature in a few months, but a single wasabi plant requires a grueling 1.5 to 2 full years before it is ready to harvest. During those 24 months, farmers must manually check the water flow, test the water quality, and monitor for disease every day. And after 2 years of constant vigilance, the prize isn't the broad leaves or the delicate flowers. All the value is concentrated in a specific part of the anatomy, the rhizome. That's the thick, green, root-like stem located just above the soil line. Inside that rhizome is a highly unique chemical profile. Unlike chili peppers, which use capsaicin to burn your tongue, wasabi produces a volatile compound that travels up the nasal passages, aggressively targeting the sinuses before completely dissipating a few seconds later. This massive biological bottleneck is what drives the exorbitant price of the real thing. When you buy authentic wasabi, you are paying for 2 years of daily high-risk babysitting just to secure a single thumb-sized stem. Reaching the finish line requires a delicate touch. Workers hand-harvest the crop, carefully extracting the plant and manually trimming away the roots and leaves to isolate those valuable rhizomes. Next comes a rigorous sorting process. Only the absolute flawless, premium rhizomes are fast-tracked for high-end export markets and elite restaurants. But the final hurdle happens right before you eat it. The rhizome's flavor is actually locked inside its cellular walls. To activate it, those cells must be physically crushed, usually by rubbing the root in a circular motion against a specialized textured grater. The moment that paste is formed, a ticking clock starts. Authentic wasabi's iconic aroma and sharp flavor peak within mere minutes before rapidly degrading into a bland, flavorless mush. This strict chemical reality dictates the premium dining experience. It's why top-tier Japanese chefs won't prep the paste in the kitchen. They insist on grating the root live, directly in front of the customer, seconds before it is eaten. Real wasabi represents the exact opposite of fast food. It is a masterclass in patience, ecological harmony, and precision farming. Once you realize exactly what it takes to produce just a single authentic bite, it becomes entirely clear why the rest of the world settles for a green-dyed lie.